Hello everyone, welcome with the quick and easy tech. Today we're going to talk about SQL Server Integration Services, SSIS. So we're going to have part 17, how to execute multiple SQL files in SSIS. And then we're going to create a new package, and also we're going to talk about the transaction, commit, rollback, and data integrity in case if you have a problem, and then how you're going to roll back the data. So let's just go to the table. Let's just open. I have my this is my SQL Server database. So let's say I have those insert statement, update, delete, and insert. This is saved in SQL file, right? My file is empty now, and then I wanna execute them. Let's say I'm gonna insert those two records. Select them. I have two records. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save each statement in single SQL file, and I want to execute them. So I want to insert a new record, and that's a new record, and then I want to update the state. That's with $1,000. I want to state the state from update the state from New York to Florida here, and then I want to delete this entire record here. So I'm going to do that. So first I need to save the query. I want to save the insert statement in some kind of SQL file, so I'm going to save it. So this is going to be, I'm going to save this. So click file. I'm going to save the file here. This is going to be a SQL file, right? So I'm just going to call it. This is going to be insert one, and then the same way I want to do. I want to save this file. This is going to be update. I want to save it also. This is going to be update. And also I want to save the third the statement inside the SQL file also. Let's save this. So this is going to be delete. That's, and then the last insert, I'm going to save it also. So this is going to be insert to. So far, if you go back to my folder path, I have 4 SQL table. That's 4 SQL tables. If you double click on it, that's the SQL table. So what do I want to do? I want to loop through all of them. I want to execute all of them. I have four of them. So what's gonna happen? So I want to loop through all of them and see if I can execute those statements from the multiple SQL file using MSDT SQL SSIS. I'm going to create a new package. So now let's just go to MSDT, and then we're going to create a new package. We're just going to call it, this is going to be part 17, execute SQL files, multiple files. Alright, so now I need to loop through all the files. So I'm going to loop through all the files. I have 4 files here, SQL files. So I have to get the for each loop container. This is going to help me loop through all the files. We have to configure it. Double click on for each loop. Click on the collection tab, and then we are choosing the for each file enumerator. We okay. Now you have to get the path, the folder path. That's the file, that's the folder. Copy the path and back to Visual Studio, and then we don't want to hard code it here. I don't want to hard code it because in the future, if someone probably is going to change the folder path to a different destination or something, so I don't want to hard code it. I want to have it dynamic. So what's going to happen? I'm going to go to expression. before I go to permission, I need to create a variable, cancel, right click on the white pane, and then we're gonna create a variable. We're gonna call it file path. That's the file path. And then for the data type will be shrink, and then we're gonna paste. This is the path for the files. And then double click on for each loop collection. We're gonna set the expression and property. We're gonna get directory, and then click on the expression, maximize it, and then we're gonna drag and drop the file path. So that's mean the file path will just gonna keep looping only in this file path. So now what do you wanna get? You wanna get like this is the asterisk. You wanna get like, for example, if you have here a text file, if you have CSV file, if you have Excel file. I don't wanna loop through all of them. I just wanna loop through any file that only the SQL file. So that's when I have to get the extension. This is the extension. That's the extension for SQL file, SQL. So now get rid of the asterisk and paste the SQL. You want to get the full qualified or name an extension. Full qualified. That's mean the folder path and the name of the file and the name and then the extension. Well, it doesn't matter the scenario. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna choose the name extension, because since I already have the file path, I'm gonna have the name and extension. And then we're gonna save the name and extension in some kind of variable. We're gonna create a new variable. We're gonna call it the file name. This is file name and extension. And the data type will be string. Click OK, click OK. Now we're all set for a data type. Now how we're gonna execute this queries? Like if you go back to SQL Server, like for example, if you highlight and then you're gonna execute it. So how are we gonna get the execute? How are we gonna execute that those files here? So back here to for each loop container, we're gonna drag and drop execute SQL task here. So double click. This is a double click on SQL task. We're gonna on the connection. We're gonna. I'm just gonna use all ADB destination, and then for the connection, you need to navigate to the proper connection. You need to navigate. You need to have a connection for SQL Server here. So we're gonna create a new connection. I have my connection. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna create a new one. You need to have the server name. So back to SQL Server, what are you going to do here? The easiest way, just select server name, execute the server name, and then copy it, or you can just click on connection database engine and copy the server name from here. Either one is going to work. So just going to paste it. Navigate to the. We're gonna navigate to the proper database. So back to SQL Server, I have my database, SSIS test database, and that's the table customer. So inside the SSIS test database, so we're gonna select the proper database. It's gonna be SSIS test database. Click on test connection succeeded. Click OK, and then click OK. Now since the connection. We're not interested in direct input. We're not selecting statement or something, and we are not choosing variables here. We're going to choose file connection. We're going to navigate to the file connection. So you got the file connection here, and then that's the file connection, that the SQL source type, and then you're going to navigate to the connection. We're going to create a new that existing file. Browse, select either one of them, because we're going to loop through all of them. Let's say I'm gonna select the second one. But anyway, we are using for each loop. We're gonna loop through all 4 of them. Click open, click OK. We're all done now. Click OK now. Now what's gonna happen if you execute the package? What's gonna happen? Since we are pointing to the insert here, so So you're gonna execute insert 4 times. You're gonna have 4 tables. You're gonna have a 4 records in insert. So I don't want to do that. I wanna loop through the first. I wanna loop through all of them once, not 4 times on the same file here. So back to SSIS, and then you see that when you have the connection, we just created, right click on this connection, the SQL connection, and then click on property, and then select, see that little dot in front of the expression, and then set the property connection string, and then the expression. We're gonna build here a file full path. File full path, that's mean a folder path plus double quote backslash double quote plus. I'm gonna tell you why I have a backslashes here. File path plus the file name here. Evaluated. See that we have backslash here 1. Click OK. Click OK. Now if you go back, if you don't want to add the 2 backslashes, you can just add 1 backslash here and you're done. You don't have to add 2 backslashes. So now when you try to, now we're gonna execute the package. Let's just go back to SQL Server. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna insert a new record with 1000, and then with one with the 7000. That's 2 new records, and then we're gonna update the state from Florida to New York, and then we're gonna delete 8000. We're gonna delete the entire records here. So back again, try to also execute the package. Package has been successfully executed. Stop the package. Back to SQL Server, then select it again. See what happened? So we insert 2 records. That's the first. That's 1000 has been inserted here, and then for the state has been updated from New York to Florida, and then we delete the 8000. We don't have 8000 here, and then we inserted a new record. That's a new record. But let's just say now we're all done. Now for this section we executed. We know how to execute multiple SQL files, but we have a very important scenario here. The scenario is what about inside these files? Let's say on one of these files you have something misspelling or something wrong, syntax or data type or something. Let's say, for example, let's just go to file, insert. Let's say you have for the insert, since I set the ID, if you go to the file and we have a customer table, that's the ID, that's integer. Let's say I'm gonna have a lot of integers here, a lot of integers. What's gonna happen? That's for the first insert. What's gonna happen? Let's say not for the first insert. Let's say for the let's go back here. Let's say for a delete. Let's go back. Let's say for a delete. All right. Let's select on delete. So let's say on delete, what's gonna happen? Let's say not this. So 1 second. We're gonna have the update. Let's say now. Let's say the second insert. So the second insert will be. Let's say you have a lot of numbers here, and plus you have number and you have a letter. This is gonna be string. So what's gonna happen? So you're gonna insert the first record, then you're gonna update the second record, and then you're gonna delete the third record, but the fourth record will not gonna be inserted because you're gonna have a problem. But those is gonna be executed, and in case if you don't like, this is gonna fail because you have too many numbers and too many letters. But if this is gonna fail, I want to fail the whole 3 of the statements. I want if let's say any one of them fail, I want to roll back. I don't want to execute. I want to roll back again. Like you know when you have endo here, you wanna go back to the like a normal. I don't wanna update. I don't wanna insert, and I don't wanna delete. So how you gonna do that? So I'm gonna show you example. And that they call it. We're gonna use a transaction. Sorry. So like if you are in SQL Server, how are you going to do a transaction in SQL Server? In SQL Server, for example, you want to put the whole state, you want to put the whole SQL, the whole statement inside a transaction. If any of them will fail, I want to fail all of them. I don't want to execute all of them. I want it to roll it back. How are we going to do that in SQL Server? And how are we going to do that in MSDT? How are we going to do that in SSIS also? So back here, let's say we're going to create a transaction. We're going to have a begin. Let's say we're going to have a begin and try here. And then we're going to have a begin transaction. This is begin transaction, right? We're going to give it a name like a T1. This is the name of the transaction. And then this section, we're going to paste everything here. You're going to paste everything, right? I want to execute those. And we're going to have a commit, and then it's going to be transaction, and there's going to be again the name of the transaction. If this is going to fail, and then we're just going to end it and try. Okay, so what's going to happen if this is going to execute it? If at least one of them is going to get failed, this is going to execute all of them. But I want if there is like, let's say if this successfully executed, there is no problem, will be commit, everything will be normal, will be fine, like update it, insert it, and delete. But I want to fail if there is like any of them has a problem here. I don't want to insert it, I don't want to update, I want to roll back. So now we have to get another begin, a transaction, they call it. We're gonna get a catch here, a catch. What are you gonna do in the catch? We're gonna do rollback. Sorry. This is gonna be a rollback tran. The name of the table, and then we're gonna end the catch. We're gonna end the catch here. So if you look here, let's say everything is fine. I want to run it. I don't have no problem, and I don't have no error here. So there is some error. I think okay, I have to get delete the begin catch. So now what's gonna happen? Let's say I don't have problems here, no problem. I want to run it, everything is fine. Okay, let me just truncate the table first, and then I'm gonna insert those two records, select them again, and then we're gonna run the transaction here. Run the transaction. So the first row affected, the second row affected, the third row affected, and then the fourth row is affected. So everything is good now. Go back and select it. Everything is good. We update the Florida, the state, we to new record, and then we updated the 8,000. Okay, let's truncate it again. Insert it. Let's say those records selected. Let's say what happened. Let's say here, right? Let's say I'm gonna have let's say I have a problem in this section here, right? In this section, I have a problem in insert. I'm gonna have like, let's say too many numbers and everything. If this is gonna fail, I want to insert, update, and indeed will be fail again, and then we'll catch it, will roll back to the transaction. So what are you gonna do here? Run the transaction again. Look, the first row is okay, affected. The second row affected. The third row affected, but the fourth row have 0 affected because there is a problem here. But anyway, even if it's affected but it's not inserted, it's not updated, and it's not deleted, if you go back here, select the table, nothing, the state didn't update, and this record didn't delete, and we didn't have the two new records. So how we can do that in SSIS? In SSIS, let's go back here and then check out the table. We're gonna do it again here. So back here, how we're gonna do that here? There is something called a transaction. If you are in a package level, right click and then click on properties, and then you need to go down transaction option here. You're gonna set the transaction option to required. What's the difference between required, supported, and not supported? Let's say, okay, let's say I have too many components here, a lot of them, and I'm gonna click on the package level. So the package, let's say the package level, it's required a transaction. This level, if you click on for each loop back, you go scroll down, this is supported, and all those are supported, and the third component also supported. So what's gonna happen? This is required. If any of them, all those is gonna join the transaction. All of them is gonna join the transaction because this is supported. Transaction is the family. Supported, it's the son. It's gonna join the family. If any of the component will fail, you're gonna fail the whole package. The whole package will be failed. But what about if you have, like for example, for each loop, we're not gonna be supported. It's not gonna be not supported. What's gonna happen? So the package level, it's required. DOS is gonna join this DOS component because it's supported is gonna join the transaction. Anything will fail. This is even if it's gonna fail, but still it's gonna go through. But those is gonna roll back. This is the not supported is not gonna roll back here. So that is the difference. So I'll just right click here and set this to required, supported. I think those both of them I didn't change it. But now we're gonna have another problem because of the distribution. So this is set to required, right? Let's just go back. Let's go back to on the file, right? For example, I want to edit this file. What for the insert, right? So let's say, okay, let's say I want to update this one, the insert, right? This is supposed to be filled. Let's say I'm gonna add a lot of numbers and then blah blah blah. I want to save it, right? I'm gonna save the same file here. This is gonna be insert. I want to save it. So now what's gonna happen? We are looping through the file. This has a problem. I want to fill this and this. I want to fill all of them. But go back to MSDT and then get rid of those. So now we have the package level set on required, and that's by default set to supported. So what's gonna happen now? Try to execute the package. Click on start to execute the package. Now we have a problem. I'm going to show you this problem. Click on progress. If you can see here, it says the transaction manager is not available, which is the MSDTC, which is Microsoft Distributed Transaction Coordinator. So go to Google and then try to download Microsoft Distributed Transaction Coordinator, MSDTC. And if you have it but it's not running, how do you know if you have it? Try to get to a component and then click on component services if you have Windows 10. So I'm just gonna expand it a little bit, and then we have try to expand component services, expand computers, and my computers, and then you see where you have a file here, distributed transaction coordinator, expanded again, and then you have a local DTC highlighted, and then click on properties and select the security tab. Now you're gonna select network DTC access, allow remote client, no, not the administration, just allow the remote client, allow inbound, outbound, and then no authentication required. When you try to apply, it's gonna try to restart. If you want to make sure if it's running or not, go back again and select look for services. So I'm just gonna go, okay, so you go down, look for distributed transaction coordinator. Now it's running because we restart. Now it's running. If it stopped or something, or any problem now of bad, or just click start. Now mine is running. So back again to SQL Server, to MSDTC, so and SQL SSIS. Now we're gonna run the package and see what happens. So let's go back to SQL Server, make sure we have, so that's the new record. We're not supposed to delete, we're not supposed to update, we're not supposed to even insert, because we have one file supposed to be filled here. This in the second insert, if you look clear, see that this file supposed to be, we have a problem now. So back to SSIS, and then try, okay, run the package, stop the package. So run the package now, start the package. Did you see that? The whole package has been filled and the whole package rolled back. If you go back here, and then if you go back to SQL Server, try to select, nothing changed, nothing changed. Nothing updated, nothing deleted, and nothing inserted. Let's do another experiment here. Stop the package, and now right click, and then set the required. Just get rid of it. Just gonna get the supported. We don't need to run the transaction. This is without the transaction. Without the transaction, look what's gonna happen without the transaction. So execute the package. You see that it's filled, but SQL Server table, if you execute, look, the state has been, hold on a second, what is that? Yes, see that? So what happened here is I got one row inserted here. I'm supposed to have those two rows. I have two records here. I have two records, right? So the first one didn't affect it, right? Didn't affect it because it picked the first insert. You remember? It's picked the first. It doesn't matter. It's sometimes start from the bottom, sometimes from this. It depends on the looping. You want to loop through what? It doesn't loop from the bottom or from the top. It just picks whatever they want, like a random picks here. So what happened here? So the first row, the first record didn't affect it, but the second row has been affected because we didn't see the 8,000 anymore. It got deleted. Sorry, I mean here. So the first row didn't affect it. That's the original. And then if you see here, the 8,000, the 9,000, I mean, sorry, let's look here. That's the, so this is the queries, right? That's the SQL query. So now what happened? So the first insert has been inserted, and the second update did not update because it didn't pick up, but it's run on the delete. It picks the delete and deleted and didn't do anything with 7,000. Nothing with it. You know why? Because go back here. We select the insert when we did you remember when we did the connection. on the connection في browse. I select the second one, and then start from delete and on all the way down. I select the first one, so that's why the second one got inserted. So that's the second one. So the first one got inserted, the second one is deleted. Start from the top, and then I started from here, and then got the delete has been deleted. The 8,000 has been deleted, and then what? Go to the second insert. So the second insert didn't pick up the second insert. Because it has a problem. And then the last update didn't update. Why? Because that's the last file here. See, that didn't update from Florida to New York. Why? Because it got a problem on the third on this file here, which is, if you go back here on the file, this is the third one. Which one? This one here on the file. So that's how you do the transaction and load multiple SQL table. Thank you very much, guys, and have a nice day.